All right, boys and girls, here we go. It's done. The DAC 9 total rebuild. Except for labeling. We need to label the front still. And we are waiting for the brand new 6LQ6, which is going to go inside. So let's give you a tour. You know, we gutted the radio, so we gutted it, and we ended up making it like an original deck with a solid state chassis. You can't really see the chassis right now because it's all shielded in here. Solid state chassis. This is a brand new COBRA 29 LTD classic chassis with a swing kit and a hot vinyl. And then, if you look at the slideshow, you'll see this deck. Then underneath here is all the low voltage components. We have a 6LQ6 vinyl, tube type vinyl, and the tuner is right on the front of the radio. Now, we don't have it labeled yet, so I'm going to give you a quick tour. We got volume, power, squelch, RF gain, channel selection right here. Okay, mic gain, delta tune, and SWR calibrate, which does work. Now let's get to our meters. This is the thing everybody buys a DAC for. So, they say 409, you put all this stuff in there, well, does everything work? Okay, well, here's our SWR meter. And I don't know how I can key it. Jeff, you want to key this for me while I'm doing this video? Sure. We're going to get Nickel over here to do our keying. So we're going to check SWR. So check this. So give me a key. So we're on calibrate. Up is going to be calibrate. We'll put it on calibrate right there. And bam. Our SWR meter is functional. Okay. And then you're going to get. And then let's get to the rest of our meters on the front now. Modulation is up. Signal strength is moving, as you can see. Modulation meter is very nice and reactive. Okay. Then, instead of putting those basic functions, let's stay on those. So he's got NBANL here, and this will be calibrate and SWR. Now this little guy you see here, we kind of did this on purpose. This is his variable power. Okay. So what's going to happen is, because he's got the tube in here, I'm going to key this with my foot. Here is, we're on a 100 watt slug. Let me turn my gain down. Loud humber. So right now we've got a little less than a watt dead key. Get where I can see this freaking meter here. There we go. Now, if I turn this guy right here, and watch the signal meter on the front, that's where we'll gauge it right now. Now I made this where it's kind of hard to do with holding the camera. I made this where you got to do just this. Now when we turn this up, this is our dead key. See on scope, dead key goes up and down. Okay. And on our power meter, dead key goes up and down. Down to a half watt all the way down, up to, I want to say 4 or 5 watts turned all the way up. So there, and then there's the basic radio. Now let's get to the basic radio power. Audio. Right around audio, 25 watts. So now, there's basic radio functions, okay? We've got our modulation meter working, we've got our signal strength meter working, SWR meter works, speakers mounted in the back. Okay, so there's a lot of basic functions. Now, let's get to what makes this radio way freaking cooler than every other DAC on the face of the planet that doesn't work but looks cool as hell. This will be our filament switch, which turns our 6LQ6 off and on. See the filament dimming out, turn it back on. So now we can have the amplifier section of this particular radio sitting on standby. This is our standby switch for the amplifier. This is now our relative output meter for the amplifier. So, first let's start with, let's take it off of standby. Okay. Once again, 100 watts. There's an easy 80. Now you got to keep in mind, we've got a sick tube in here. This is a used prop tube that we used to build the amp with. The brand new tube is on its way, but with this sick tube, it's still already doing audio 82 watts, and on the front of the radio, audio 1 2. He has a relative output where it says signal, where it says plate current, That's relative output for the amp. Now you'll notice when we put the amp on standby, that meter fails to operate anymore because the amp isn't on. As soon as we turn that bad dude on, audio. So now all the meters on the face of this radio are perfectly functional. Okay. So that's it, boys and girls. A DAC 9 with a COBRA 29 chassis, variable power swing kit. All the controls are functioning as they should. We are going to neaten up this face. Yes, we've been flipping it around, kind of torque our nickel finish up a little bit. We're going to go over these edges and fine tune the edges and make it look nice and neat all the way around. Get all our labels made for the front. Going to take it to a body shop buddy of mine. We're going to go around these windows where we had to trim this stuff in. And basically there it is. Triple nickel 409 put together the baddest DAC 9 on the face of the planet. Now anybody that knows anything about DACs knows that the 9 was straight AM and the 10 was sideband. We do have a 10 that is going to get the same kind of service that this one got. That's going to be mine. That's my baby over there. This one I think is already sold. So this is kind of an idea of what you can do with a radio that looked really cool but never really worked. And it's certainly never blasted over 100 watts like I'm sure this was going to do once we put the brand new green stripe tube in it. So there it is, boys and girls. A kick-ass DAC 9. We grunted the whole time we built this bad dude. So there it is. I think this one's sold, and if not, watch out eBay. It may hit eBay. Quality like this don't come cheap though, boys and girls. And keep in mind, when we build a radio ground up like this, and you buy it from us, or you have us convert one of your radios and do one of these conversions, or it's a full-blown conversion, rebuild, however you want it, which we can do. I don't care if it's a 1000, a 142, frickin' T-Berry, anything's big enough I can put more stuff in, we can gut it for you. It's like you take an old car and frame, restore it. We can do the same thing with radios in this shop. People don't come to this shop for what they need, they come here for what they want. That's what that guy on Texas Metal says, and he's right. He builds cool ass shit that you don't get that stuff because you need it. You get it because you want it. When you buy a DAC with a brand new chassis, solid state and tube type, just like a DAC was born, only this is warranted to the person who buys it for as long as I've got a pulse and as long as they own it. So there it is, everybody. You've been watching the videos. It's taken about a month. We only worked on it 1 or 2 days a week when Nickel's in the shop. So this is what we came up with. In the beginning it was in pieces in a tub. Now it's a respectable kick-ass radio. So keep an eye out for the 10 that's going to get rebuilt and some other goodies. And man, I'm just happy with this. I wish I could keep it. So we'll congratulate Nickel on a very nice job helping me build this radio. And I think the gentleman in Joliet's going to end up with this one. I hope he does, because he deserves it. So, all right, guys, 7 3s and stay safe.